Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go with the MLB games scheduled for Thursday, August 29th, 2024. And if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your baseball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily rundown best bet in the MLB, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Thursday in Major League Baseball. First up, the LA Angels taking on the Detroit Tigers. We're going to see Jack Kohanowitz and Kiter Montero as the projected starters. And with how well Montero's been recently, I know he's not had a great season overall, but I mean, the Tigers have won his last 4 games. In Kohanowitz's last 5 games, the Angels are just 1-4. I think Montero's in much better form, and I think the Tigers' offense also in much better form. The bullpen's also improved a little bit in the last couple of weeks. I got to roll the Tigers in this game on the money line and run line. Next up, we see the San Francisco Giants taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Hayden Birdsong and Aaron Savale are your projected starters. Now, I know Birdsong hasn't been the most profitable option recently for San Francisco, but I do think he's trending in the right direction again. Back-to-back strong outings in those last couple of games against the Mariners and the A's. It was 8 2/3 of 10 strikeout, 1-run baseball. I look for him to go a little bit deeper in this game, and when you look at Savale on the other side, somebody that we know has had issues with the home run ball in his career. So far this year, 24 home runs given up in 128 innings. He's given up at least 1 in 3 of his last 4. This San Francisco Giants lineup is pretty home run dependent right now. We saw at the beginning of this series, they were able to get to Myers for a few homers, and I think they'll be able to get to Savale here. In the last 30 days, or in the month of August, the Giants are 8th best in baseball in isolated power against right-handed pitching. I'm going to give the edge to San Francisco in this game on the money line. Next up, the Texas Rangers and the Chicago White Sox. Nathan Eovaldi for the Rangers with no official starter for Chicago. I'll lean towards the Rangers here. Probably not going to be the best price, but I do think Eovaldi's going to be the better option on the mound. Recently, his last couple of games, quality starts against the Twins and the Guardians. The White Sox have been one of the weakest lineups in baseball against righties and lefties in the month of August. And when you look at the bullpens, I know the Rangers bullpen hasn't been the best in August, but the White Sox have a 6.21 ERA in the bullpen, the second worst xFIP. I got to roll with the Rangers here on the money line and run line. Next up, we see the San Diego Padres taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Michael King and Sonny Gray are your starters. Now, we've talked about how Michael King's been a very consistent option for San Diego the last few months. His last game wasn't his best, but he also really did not get any help from his defense. Manny Machado made a few key mistakes at third base, and he ended up giving up 4 unearned runs. Only 1 earned run, but 4 unearned. And, he had 7 strikeouts through 5 innings. I thought he pitched okay, made a couple of mistake pitches, but I think he's going to bounce back here against St. Louis. And Sonny Gray on the other side really has not been the best of form. You look, he's given up 5+ runs in 2 of his last 3 games. A lot of home runs recently, a lot of base hits. I think the Padres take advantage of that. They've been a solid lineup in the month of August. Give me San Diego in this one on the money line, and I'd think about laying 1.5 runs as well. Next up, we see the Marlins and the Rockies from Coors Field. We're going to see Valente Bellozo and Bradley Blaylock as the starters. I like the Rockies to win this game. I think Blaylock's pitched really well with his new team and has 1 start at Coors Field under his belt. It was a good outing, 5 2/3, 1 earned run against the Padres and a 3-2 Rockies win. And last time out against the Yankees, he went 5 1/3, 2 runs, and that was at Yankee Stadium, but a 9-2 Rockies win in that one as well. He's been a pretty sharp option. I do think that we're going to see some regression in this game going forward, but I think the Rockies' bats are going to back him up anyway in this game. But Bellozo, no Coors Field experience. The last game, he gave up 3 home runs, and they were absolute tanks, especially the one to Pete Crow Armstrong, who's not necessarily known for that kind of power, but Bellozo really struggled in that game. Now you go to Coors Field. We know what Roddery Munoz had to deal with, somebody that gives up a lot of home runs, and he struggled mightily at Coors. I think Bellozo sees similar results. So I'm going to go with the over and the Rockies in this one. In our next game, we see the Diamondbacks and the Mets. We're going to see David Peterson and Ryan Nelson on the mound. Great pitching matchup in this game. 2 starting pitchers that are in great form right now. We know Ryan Nelson, at the beginning of the season, did not pitch too well. It's why his ERA still at 4.29 on the year. He's just been a completely different pitcher recently. I mean, his last 5 games, just a small sample size, he's given up 2 earned runs or fewer in 4 of those 5. His strikeout numbers have been there. His control's been a lot better. He's been a very profitable option for Arizona. But the same can be said about David Peterson, who's won a lot of games with New York this season. He's had a comeback season. He's struggled at the major league level the last couple of years, but having his best season by far in his career, an 8-1 record, 2.85 ERA. I've mentioned the regression concerns in Peterson's game. I still worry about those going forward. He's got an expected ERA in the fives, which is, in the bottom 7th percentile in baseball. You can't ignore that. I mean, I do think you got to give credit to Peterson for pitching this well, but I don't know if it's going to be sustainable for the rest of the season into the postseason potentially for New York. And that's why I got to roll the Diamondbacks in this game on the money line. I think if Peterson had a more favorable matchup, I'd be willing to take the Mets, but the Diamondbacks are a great lineup. Nelson's been great on the mound. I got to go Arizona in this one. Next up, the Oakland Athletics take it on the Cincinnati Reds. We're going to see a bullpen game for Oakland and Julian Aguilar going for the Reds. Aguilar's pitched well so far in 10 innings of work, a 3.6 ERA. He's given up just 4 earned runs in those 10 innings against the Pirates and the Blue Jays, but a couple of home runs given up, only 6 strikeouts in those 10 innings, and they were both on the road against the Blue Jays and Pirates. Now you're at Great American Ballpark for your debut, your home debut. It's a very hitter-friendly ballpark. I think the A's could get to him for a few runs, and this A's bullpen has been very sharp in August. They actually have the 3rd best bullpen xFIP in the month of August. I'm going to go with the Oakland Athletics in this game on the money line on the road. Next up, we see the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies. Charlie Morton and Christopher Sanchez are your starters. We know that Morton struggled this year overall with an ERA above 4, but he's been a lot better recently, giving up 2 earned runs or fewer in 4 of his last 5, and the Braves were able to win 4 of those 5. I think the Braves are the side in this one. I like the way Atlanta's playing recently. Sanchez just faced these Braves back on August 22nd, gave up 9 base hits in 6 innings of work. So while it was a quality start on paper, a lot of base runners, gave up a home run, and ended up being still a Braves victory in the end. He's given up 8+ base hits in 3 of his last 5 games. Just hasn't been the best of form recently. And I'm going to go with the Braves in this game on the money line on the road. Next up, the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Boston Red Sox. Bowden Francis and Cutter Crawford are your starters. Now, I know the strength of schedule hasn't been the toughest against the Angels twice, the Cubs, and the Orioles, but Bowden Francis has been on a roll. He's one of the hottest pitchers in baseball right now, giving up 2 earned runs or fewer in his last 4 games, 7+ strikeouts in all 4 of those games, including 12 of them in the last game against the Angels, and 3 of those games were victories for the Blue Jays. I got to roll Toronto in this game. I mean, Cutter Crawford's not been great in the second half of the season. We know the home run ball has been a problem. He hasn't given up a home run in 2 of his last 3, but I still think Toronto can get to him for a few runs. The Red Sox are just 1-3 in his last 4 starts. Give me the Blue Jays in this game on the money line. Next up, we see the Kansas City Royals taking on the Houston Astros. Brady Singer and Hunter Brown are your starters. Great pitching matchup in this one. Now, as somebody that has the Royals to win the AL Central, we put that ticket at the beginning of the season. It's getting exciting now. Kansas City had a great series in Cleveland, but I don't love the chances in this game. It's just really tough to go against Hunter Brown with how well he's pitched, especially at home. He's been a lot better at Minute Maid Park. We know Brady Singer's not been the best on the road throughout his career, and that goes for this season as well. I mean, Singer's last road game was outstanding against the Cincinnati Reds, 6 innings, a 6-strikeout ball, but I do think the Astros are a much tougher matchup, and with Brown on the other side, I got to roll the Astros in this game on the money line, so give me Houston in this one. And the final game we're to talk about for the Thursday card in Major League Baseball, the Baltimore Orioles and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Cade Povich and Bobby Miller are your starters. Now, finally, Bobby Miller was able to put together a strong outing in that last game against the Rays. He went 6 innings, a 3-run ball with 9 strikeouts and no walks. A quality start and a win for LA, 7-3 the final score. That was at Dodger Stadium. He's home again here. I think he pitches well. The Orioles, we've talked about, not been the best lineup against righties in the month of August. Cade Povich, after some solid outings in his first few games at the Major League level, has not been great recently. A 1-6 record now. He's got an ERA above 6. I got to roll the Dodgers in this game on the money line and run line at Dodger Stadium. And that's it. Those are the games for Thursday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Put those baseball picks in the comment section below. And again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.